Alright, so check this out. I spent $60 on this shit. Full price. Mind you, I also bought it on PS4, so you already know there's no fucking refund. I can't get my shit back. I am literally stuck with this game. I asked them for a refund like twice and they told me to go fuck myself. So take that as you will. Now let's get on with the video. Okay, so for people who are new to this series, Saints Row was released in 2006 and was followed up by a sequel, Saints Row 2, in 2008. Now, despite being written off as a GTA ripoff, at the time of its release, it was Grand Theft Auto's biggest competition, Saints Row 2 especially. I will go as far as to say Saints Row 1 and 2 at the time of its release, which was between 2006 and 2008, I think those two games were better than whatever GTA was out at the time, both graphically and in gameplay. Maybe with the exception of GTA 4, because that game kind of ushered in a new generation of GTA games. Now, with the release of Saints Row 3, 4, and Get Out of Hell, the Saints Row series shifted in not only personality, but also reputation. To sum it up for you, the series basically went from menace to society to aliens, but like a weird parody spoof version. Saints Row 4 was weird. They also went to hell and fought demons and shit, but like all that leads to this, the Saints Row reboot. But for the purpose of this video, I'm going to refer to it as Saints Row 5. Within the past 2 weeks of its release, this game has already received all types of shit. There have been multiple videos made on how bad it is. People in comment sections talking about, oh, this game is horrible, what the fuck were they thinking, Volition's mother should have swallowed them, all types of shit, dude. Like, y'all have no fucking chill. And yes, I know I said Volition wrong. Now, I decided that I actually wanted to buy the game firsthand so I can get actual experience on it rather than getting an opinion from somebody else. Now, this game does have issues, but a good part of me does enjoy what they did with it. Now, the story itself, the beginning is actually really fucking slow, but I give them credit for what they're trying to do. Instead of continuing the story from the previous games, like the whole alien invasion, the presidency and whatever, they decided to restart everything and basically make this game the Saints' origin story. Whole new set of characters, whole new environment, whole new everything. We start off with our main character, who is actually an employee at Marshall, which is basically a mercenary company, along with his group of friends, Nina, who is a member of the Los Panteros, Kevin, who's a member of the Idols, and Eli, who's a member of Nothing. Together, they all do what they can to make rent. Despite the slow pacing I mentioned, I think the game did a really good job of showing you what specifically caused each member of this friend group to form the Saints. The main character gets fired as his job as a marshal, so he can't really help with the rent issue. Kevin and Eli are attacked at the club by the Panteros, which basically forces Nina to defect from her affiliations and help out her friends. During this said attack, well, after, the Idols come through and basically tell Kevin to kill his friends, I don't know, prove his loyalty or some shit. They didn't explain that well. And Kevin basically says, fuck you, shoots one of them, and that causes him to defect from his affiliation. See, now they're on their own and they have 2 different gangs after them. So, they decided, fuck it, since we buy ourselves and we stick with each other anyways, let's just make our own shit. They find an abandoned church, clear out construction sites, while also taking out an invading force of Idols, and then proceed to claim the church as their own. With the church now claimed as their new HQ, the main character decides to title their new organization the Saints. Now, in my opinion, I think this was the best possible way for them to make a new Saints Row game. Idea-wise, this was good. Think about it like this, you just got done making Saints Row 4 and Get Out of Hell, and now the fans are saying, listen, all that alien demon shit was cool or whatever, but we don't like this, we want to go back to our roots. Make the Saints Row game a lot more grounded. You can't continue from the story you already made, because that don't make no fucking sense. The minute they made Bro President in Saints Row 4, there is no going back after that. Fuck the aliens, fuck the demon shit. The minute you said that this man is in charge of the United States of America, all that street shit they was on in Saints Row 2, they could never go back to that. So now they were faced with 2 options. In my opinion, I think an option they had was they could have said everything that happened in Saints Row 4 and Get Out of Hell, all that was like a movie or some shit, because remember, they were celebrities in Saints Row 3. They could have said some shit like that. Or they could have did what they did with this game. Start everything over, reboot the series, make some new characters, make a new story, and that's what they chose to do. Now, I have issues with this game, not necessarily because of the story, but there are parts of the story that play a part in my issue. My main issue is the gameplay. Like your typical Saints Row game, it's a third-person shooter. Guns, ammunition, baseball bats, fight mechanics, all of it is done within third person. However, unlike the other Saints Row games, this one didn't really feel as fun. As I said in my Tony Hawk video, if you're gonna make a continuation to a series, or in this case reboot a series, you need to make sure you get it right, mainly out of respect for the fans. When I go back and play games like Saints Row 2 or Saints Row the Third, the gunplay and fight mechanics in my opinion are top notch. Between using both triggers to box out your enemy, or using the bumper triggers to grab and throw opponents, or just straight up blasting your opponent in the chest with a pistol, all that shit was done better in the previous games. I'm gonna use this as an example. Here's fight gameplay of Saints Row 2. Now here's the fight gameplay for Saints Row 5.
Going to radio for backup. Need backup.
Down and out.
This is what the gunplay looks like in Saints Row the Third. This is what the gunplay looks like in Saints Row 5.
You won't survive this flash cracker!
Do y'all see what I'm saying, or am I bugging out? Like, for example, the fight mechanics in Saints Row 2, in my opinion, were a lot more fast-paced and fluid. Like, I felt like I was beating the fuck out of somebody. Then I go over to Saints Row 5, and the fight mechanics seem kinda eh. I think something that really saves it, though, are the executions. So, like, y'all know executions in, like, Saints Row 2 and 3 and whatever. Saints Row 5 brought that back, and I really fucking enjoy it. I might not like the typical fight mechanics, but once you like actually finish off an opponent by pressing like triangle or Y or whatever the fuck you PC players use, an execution animation pops up. And they fun as hell to look at. I think they put a lot of good work in the executions. However, unlike 2, instead of having an execution animation after you box out your opponent, you need to wait for a meter to fill up, which in my opinion is a pointless addition. Fight mechanics aside, however, going back to the gunplay, I think the firefights in Saints Row 3 look so much better than Saints Row 5. If your notoriety is high enough and you have backup with you and it's you and yours against them and theirs, the gunfight is literal chaos. There's mad bullets flying past your head, the enemy got grenade launchers so you gotta dodge explosions, and they also got juggernauts charging at you every 5 fucking seconds. It's literal chaos and anarchy. And if you try to escape, they chase after you. The AI never gives you a chance to breathe in Saints Row 3. Meanwhile in Saints Row 5, the gunfights are kinda lackluster. The enemy AI will always engage if you come off threatening, but how they engage depends on the situation. For example, if you're in a mission, the shooting and the gunfights themselves, they're pretty decent. You know, they're not as good as Saints Row 3 or 2, but they are decent. But if you engage one of them in the streets outside of a mission, they don't really put up as much of a fight. Instead, in the game, they treat notoriety like a wave. Once you kill all the enemy gang members or the enemy cops, your notoriety clears and the enemy just gives up on you. There's no sense of danger is what I'm getting at. Another issue I have with this game are the gangs. Now, just like any other Saints Row game, you have a trio of gangs that you need to get rid of for whatever reason depending on the game you're playing. In Saints Row 1, you want to clean up the streets of Stillwater by getting rid of the 3 gangs that have been terrorizing the streets. In Saints Row 2, you need to regain the Saints' reputation by taking out the current 3 gangs that took over Stillwater while you were in a coma for 5 years. In Saints Row 3, you're robbing a bank that's owned by a crime syndicate and now you have to defend yourself in their city while also looking for revenge for Johnny Gat after he was quote unquote killed in the beginning of the game. Something that each one of these games have in common is that the enemies you go up against are not only threatening but have some form of motivation. The enemies in Saints Row 5, however, aren't really all that much of a threat to our main characters. Actually, let me rephrase that because they do be trying to kill us. What I'm trying to say is, despite them trying to kill us sometimes here and there, they aren't as threatening as the gangs from the other games. For example, if I were to compare the marshals to anyone, I'd say they were like a watered down version of Stag from Saints Row 3, and they don't really pose much of a threat to our existence other than firing us in the beginning of the game. I'll say the Panteros are the most threatening, not only because of the fact that they are constantly fucking with Nina, but they almost killed Eli, and they seem to be the ones that are taken the most seriously throughout the game. And then finally, there's the Idols, who in my opinion are the least threatening throughout any gang in Saints Row history. The best way for me to describe these motherfuckers is like this. Imagine if Captain Planet and Hello Kitty had like a gang of kids, but they all decided to like go at a rave at the exact same time. That's the Idols. And I'm gonna give them their credit. I mean, they do try to be bad, like that time they caught Kevin slipping at the gym, cracked him upside the head with a bat and kidnapped him. But it was hard for me to take that scene seriously because dude got a whole Hello Kitty helmet as a head. Like, bro never takes that shit off. It's always on him. And depending on the mood he has, his face changes. I just can't take him seriously. You know, playing this game really made me appreciate Saints Row 4. Like, as much as I hated it, I'm gonna give Saints Row 4 its credit. At least it was entertaining. Like, if it was its own game outside of the Saints Row series, I would have loved it. But the fact that it was attached to this series, it threw me the fuck off. But it did its job by keeping you entertained. This game doesn't really do that. For me at least. I say if you want to play this game for yourself, get it half off or just get it on sale. Something like that. Don't pay $60 for that shit. Because I paid $60 for it and I'm fucking pissed. Like, I don't think I'm ever really going to touch it again after I finish this video. But like I said, get it on sale. Try it out for yourself, you know what I mean? Don't take my opinion for this shit. Make your own opinion and play it yourself. But I appreciate y'all for watching Reggie TV. That was my video for the day. I think I might do a Battlefield video next. Like, I decided to give Battlefield 2042 a second chance, and I have some new opinions, but I also have some old ones. I think I might put it in a video, or I might finish this manhunt video I've been doing. It's one of the two, but I hope y'all enjoyed it. I'll see y'all in the next one. I'm out.